Hello, good morning, and welcome into Field Trip Day in the nation's capital. Alongside Colombian international Chelsea Cabarcas, I'm Dre Cordero. Glad to have you with us for a late morning kickoff at Audi Field. It's DC Power against the Carolina Ascent. Week 23 in the Gainbridge Super League sees Carolina on 26 points. They're holding on to that fourth and final postseason berth, while DC Power just 3 points back with the game in hand, meaning a win for Power FC would see them leapfrog Spokane and climb level on points with today's opponents, Carolina. Now, DC coming to this playoff push in record form. They're riding a club record 6-match unbeaten run.
DC hasn't just been solid defensively, they've also been effective going forward, consistently outscoring opponents. And when a team truly refines its defensive structure and identity, everything else really tends to fall into place. Defending requires the most energy. So once you get rid of that and you're able to defend well, you have so much energy going forward where you can attack, you can get creative, everything else starts to flow. And it's just like a niche that comes together.
And they are flowing. 2 wins, 4 draws, going back to mid-December, 10 of a possible 18 points, 7 goals in that stretch, and 6 of them from this trio.
It's safe to say I can give them a fantastic 3 name. Everything has been clicking for them. Gorley leads the charge with 8 league goals, ranking 3rd, and also tops the league in shots. Give her the space and she will take chances with the first touch. That's always going forward and attacking. Ibarra has earned a starting role as a free attacking midfielder, providing that service. And Walker has become a true power sub, someone you can trust to come in and change the game.
Meanwhile, for Carolina, the Ascent are on the up and up, rediscovering their best form. Back-to-back wins over Dallas and Tampa Bay, both by way of clean sheets.
This really highlights the defensive identity Carolina has built this season. Back-to-back shutouts aren't just about one strong performance. It shows consistency, organization, and a real understanding of roles and identity across the back line and midfield. You can see the communication, the positioning, and discipline, and how they've managed moments with and without the ball.
And the newcomer Tyler Lucy flexing her muscles, fresh off her full debut last week, scored the game winner against Tampa Bay.
Tyler Lucy, what a statement goal that was. Her positioning and execution was outstanding. I initially thought she might need more time to settle in and find her rhythm, but I was wrong, okay?
We hope you're settled in and finding your rhythm. We're just moments from kickoff at Audi Field. DC Power and Carolina set to square off. It's a 6-pointer in the capital, and it gets underway next on Peacock. Stay with us.
Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Welcome back. It is Field Trip Day at Audi Field. Local schools invited to join DC Power for an educational match day experience. It is a proverbial 6-pointer against Carolina. And for the kids in attendance, it beats second period algebra 2. Here's a look at the starting lineups. Omid Namasi making 3 changes from last Thursday's draw against Dallas. Justina Gaynor and 15-year-old Val Parada slotting into the midfield, while Deja Torber gets a nod in attack, taking over from the former Carolina winger, Alyssa Walker.
I really love these changes. We're going to start off with the defense. Expect Cummings to be the anchor at the back, organizing that line and playing a key role in connecting passes from the defense into the midfield during transitions. She'll serve as that reference point defensively, while Paige is likely to be a little bit more aggressive. She's going to go ahead and try to play box to box, take those cuts in, and look to cross the ball. Going forward, Ibarra has developed a strong understanding with Gorley, so look for Gorley to stay active with diagonal runs and positional interchanges.
Here's a look at the starting 11 for visiting Carolina Ascent. Just copy and paste from Friday night's win over Tampa Bay in Charlotte. Tyler Lucy got her first start and her first goal.
Her first start. Carolina Ascent is an extremely strong back line with Studer and Butler doing an excellent job communicating and providing that balance defensively. Aguilera plays a true box-to-box role. She tracks back well and is so aggressive in transition. She's going to cut inside, deliver those quality balls into the box. And Corbin operates a little bit more centrally as she's that creative outlet. Free, she tries to free herself, turn, look for those diagonal and free balls.
There is the reigning Coach of the Year in the Gainbridge Super League, Philip Poole. Led Carolina to the Players' Shield last season, the best regular season record. They are starting to find their better form over the last couple of games. Back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets, and the impact, almost immediate impact made by Tyler Lucy, longtime veteran of NWSL, set to make her second start. Omid Namasi, a wealth of experience in international and club soccer, now at the helm of DC Power, his first experience in Gainbridge Super League, and trying to lead DC Power to the promised land of a postseason berth. A win today goes a long way toward that end, as they sit just 3 points back of Carolina with the game in hand. Carolina, of course, holding on to that last postseason berth as we enter this playoff push in the Gainbridge Super League. Final checks for Joshua Encarnacion, the head official, and on a brisk spring morning in the nation's capital, DC Power and Carolina Ascent underway. Once again, I'm Dre Cordero, joined in the commentary booth by Colombian international Chelsea Cabarcas. DC Power in the black and blue, moving from left to right on your screen.
In the first 15 minutes, I'll really be watching closely to see which team is able to set that tempo and impose its style on the game. That opening phase really often reveals the intent, whether a team wants to control possession, press high, or stay compact, or play a little bit more direct. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking for. I'll also be paying attention a little bit more to the spacing in the midfield, especially how well the lines are connected.
There's Anna Bagley near side. As Carolina push their lines forward, trying to press DC Power deep into their own half. Here's the captain Cummings. Claire Constant, playing just 30 minutes from her childhood home now. Stateside soccer. After a spell in Portugal, it's a good ball forward. Loza Ibarra won't get there. It's cleared away by Sydney Martinez. So Martinez in goal for Carolina. A back four of Merrick, Studer, Butler, and Aguilera. 2 holding midfielders in Corbin and Porter. Lucy, Groom, and Parker playing a supporting role for Mackenzie George up top. It's Ibarra. Colton. Gaynor as they use the full width of the pitch on their approach.
We are already starting to see that DC is doing an incredible job moving the ball around, trying to get this high-pressing Carolina Ascent side to get tired.
Long diagonal switch. Looking for the near side. It's a wonderful ball. And Torbert not able to collect cleanly. They do in a corner kick. Torbert got her first start against Carolina earlier in the season. Was injured right after. It was a stop-start kind of opening to the campaign for her. Today filling in for Alyssa Walker in that front three that we mentioned. 2 goals apiece over these 6 games. Outswinger, back post. Chested down and wide. No trouble for Martinez in goal. So for DC Power, it's got shot between the sticks. A back four of Bagley, Constant, Cummings, and Page. Gaynor, Colton, Valparada, and Torbert in a diamond midfield with Gorley and Abera in attack. Worth mentioning, Valparada, just 15 years old, making her first start of the season. She's played just 54 minutes on the campaign. She'll likely eclipse that today. Parada made her debut last April. She was just 14 years old, making league history. Flighted forward. Far wing, DC Power will have it back via throw.
We're already starting to see 3 minutes in that DC is taking charge and Carolina Ascent is playing a bit more chaotic. They're getting the ball in the transitional moments, this Carolina Ascent side, and they just want to go forward rather than connecting passes to go ahead and gain that rhythm.
DC Power has never beaten Carolina. 7 previous meetings. Carolina unbeaten against this particular opponent, but it was 0-0 the last time they faced off. Abid Damasi felt they had done enough in that game to get a result. And the last away win for Carolina was in their last trip to DC back in November. 1-0 with Riley Baisden scoring the winner just before the hour. Clash of legs is blown against DC Power by the referee. Porter. Studer. Long switch into the area. It's well defended by Bagley, doing just enough. And Gottschalk happy to collect.
And those are the balls that DC want to be careful with. Studer on that quick transitional phase, going ahead and playing those through balls in the air. She's really good at connecting the back line with the offensive lines.
Gaynor. It's downfield soccer from DC Power, in possession short circuits. The play out of the back to Martinez under pressure. Loza Abera. Constant. License to get forward. That's a wonderful switch of play. Crossed in, back post for Torbert, arriving point blank, and open net. There's the opener. And it won't count. It's waved off by Encarnacion. Signal a handball in the lead up to the goal.
Incredible, incredible look and connection. Torbert, if she would have just held her run a little bit longer, it would have been so much easier to run in and just one-touch finish. But these are the plays that are practiced during training sessions.
So Torbert sneaking in behind. Abera was there as well, and the would-be first goal is wiped off the board. It's a fast start for DC Power and nearly rewarded for their efforts.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this DC side. They're controlling the tempo of the game, controlling those small little details. The first and second passes, they're waiting to play those long balls through.
There's Constant. Cummings. One of 2 players to start every game this season is the captain, Sydney Cummings. Alexis Tourette had started every match up until this one. She's absent after picking up an injury. Gianna Gorley, who starts up top, is the other who's started all of their games this season. It's Page who is dispossessed and wins it back. Page on Mendaris. Finding a little joy in that far side. DC Power looking for options to cross in. Once again, looking for Torbert, who clatters into the goalkeeper Martinez, and it's a foul whistled against Torbert.
Carolina Ascent is going to have to be a little bit more patient on their defending and not dive into those 1v1s, because if they dive in, they expose themselves in other positions and allow those crosses to go through. Torbert is doing an incredible job by attacking that back line diagonally to try to get her body on a ball.
This would have been Alyssa Walker's first match against her former team, Carolina. She's absent. So there's a trio of players on international duty. Morgan Aquino is with Australia. They've just qualified for the World Cup. Carly Frillis and Katrina Guillot also on international duty with the Philippines at the AFC Asian Women's Cup. Monopolizing possession, Parada did well to deal with the double team. Here's Colton. Slipped through for Abera. Torbert arriving in the box. And stuck between a cross and his shot. Doesn't get goal bound.
Fantastic movement between the three, Colton, Abera, and Torbert. You can see that they have such a connection that they're able to they don't even have to look at where they want to pass. They already know that their next teammate is going to run into that space. They're really exposing poor defense by this Carolina Ascent side.
Have you had a situation like this in your playing days where you're playing an 11:30 a.m. kickoff on a cool spring morning? Now players are so managed in terms of energy levels, when you eat, when you sleep, how you prepare for a primetime kickoff. This sort of changes that chemistry a little.
It definitely changes that chemistry and that dynamic going into a game, but normally around this time, teams are practicing. Training sessions are during this time, so it's not much of a change. It would be very different if you had a game happen at 2 p.m.
Abera finding a little space on this near side, crossed in and dealt with by Studer. Still alive for Colton, looking for a sliver of an opening.
Abera's doing a brilliant job pulling out defenders because she's naturally that center bid, but now we're starting to see her all over the field.
Good combination to find space near side for Parker. Played in behind, it's Mackenzie George, and Cummings had it covered. She'll usher it out. Ten minutes in. DC Power have enjoyed more possession and more chances. We saw the first real coherent build-up from Carolina. Giovanna DeMarco, the season-long absentee for Carolina Ascent, who have been relatively healthy. Here they come once more. And Mackenzie George has that picked up by Gottschalk in front of her. Second start for McKenna Gottschalk in goal. Made a positive debut against Dallas in that 1-1 draw. Had 6 saves in that game, including a couple of big ones down the stretch to preserve the point. Maybe could have done a little more on the Dallas goal as she got caught out in no man's land coming out for a ball she never got close to. But otherwise, a stellar debut for the former Fort Lauderdale goalkeeper. And switch for Page. Parada strong on the ball from the 15-year-old. Bagley. Oh, it's a lovely ball for Abeza. Still alive, it's Colton now from the edge of the area. Torbert flipped in, back post. Gorley couldn't quite settle.
You can see that this DC side is really exposing Carolina Ascent in the midfield and how they're not connected defensively.
Happy to keep all 10 players behind the ball at the moment, Carolina.
And they're being extremely patient on the ball, DC. And when they see those spaces to run through the middle, attack Carolina Ascent to make a decision, there's no communication and they're not making the correct decisions when to step or when to hold their lines.
Crossed in by Torbert, plucked out of the air. Sydney Martinez. Aquino's absent. It's a shuffle and goalkeep. A direct route out of the back now, laid off for Lucy to run onto. Broke it up nicely by DC Power. Jenna Butler. Sheila Aguilera. Let's take it forward from that left back position. She was a golden playmaker a season ago and leads the league in chances created currently.
Very interesting. I haven't seen Aguilera get off her line at all, which means Carolina Ascent right now is basically fighting for their lives defensively.
Barra, the intended target that time. Also, Barra, a legend in Ethiopian soccer and starting to find her goals here as well. Goals in back-to-back games for the first time since joining DC Power. She found the back of the net against Brooklyn and Dallas. The last two outings for DC Power. Riley Parker to put it back in play. Paige not able to get onto it. And expert tackle to win it back from Paige Almendares. Now turning defense into attack. Has Parada down the line. Abera. It's a neat little layoff by Abera, but the offside flag comes up against Loza Abera.
Incredible touch by Abera to break that pressure. Instead of holding the ball, she used her judgment, her quick judgment, to just play that quick wall ball, quick 1-2.
Well, this beats the field trips I had in school. We went to the zoo, I think, the aquarium maybe.
It would be great to go to a soccer game and miss the day of having to do math problems.
Educational match the experience, is what they're calling it. Here's Groom. Out wide for Merrick. Has Corbin inside, instead leans on Tyler Lucy. What a goal she scored in her full debut. And has she done enough to win a corner? No, it's given as a goal kick. Lucy in disbelief. Paige standing her ground.
Strong defending by Paige. For me, she's one of the best 1v1 defender. One of the best, not the best in the league. One of the best in the league. She keeps it on her toes. It's not easy to beat her.
Forgive me if I'm having flashbacks. All of the kids in the stands. I remember a match in the Italian Serie A where ultras were banned from the stadium at Juventus in Turin, and instead the ultras section was filled with kids from the local schools, which is a lovely and adorable idea. But the entire game sounded like screeching trains.
They most probably gave them that task to get the opponent out of their game. Scream the whole match. That is your job.
As an
you don't
audio
know what
visual,
you're seeing, but
slightly different experience. Carolina building deep out of the back to Martinez. And DC Power tightening the screws on their press. And foul deals out Carolina. Select the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com. The latest select products, specials, and more. Select the player's choice. Lucy, harassed by Cummings. Solved it well, finding Merrick. Now Corbin. Here's Aguilera. Parker does well to get away from Torbert. Slipped through for Corbin. Tried to disguise her pass. It's going back at the edge of the area. Tangle of the legs was not a foul in the referee's view. DC Power happy to put the ball back out of play. The chance to regroup defensively. Aguilera. Oh, it's a heavy touch. Abera applying the pressure. Here's Gorley now on the front foot. And a foot race. And Carolina scrambling back. Gorley commits the foul. It's Addison Merrick sprinting back into action to put out the fire.
These are situations that you never want to be in as a defensive back line. If you see there's a 50-50 ball, divided ball, just go in strong and try to get that ball out of there.
Here's Lucy. This is the area where she scored last time. Well defended once again to deny Tyler Lucy. Abera. Good hold-up play from the striker. Page. Gorley. There's a patience and a confidence about this DC Power team right now when they're in possession. They seem to know where the ball is going before it arrives.
They're being patient. If you watch when the back line has the ball, for instance, right here in this situation, they're waiting patiently to see who is going to open up.
Torbert has arrived into the area, takes it herself, and just got under it. Skide effort doesn't test Martinez. Maybe stuck between two minds there. She was looking at that far post for a cross.
I would have liked to see Torbert maybe dribble that ball in, at an angle, cut in so that defenders need to make a decision. The goalkeeper, Martinez, needs to make a decision to either step out or hold.
Four shots from DC Power in just under 20 minutes. You have to put one on target. One shot so far from Carolina. Ball clipped into the area. Abera is making that diagonal run to the near post and no one at the back post to meet this.
20 minutes in and DC has managed to make Carolina a bit chaotic defensively where they're not synchronized. They're not connecting. We're so used to seeing this Carolina Ascent side being a high pressure team, and they usually get to the ball. But because DC is being patient and they're also playing quick, they're playing one touch, two touch, they're not complicating themselves, and they're timing those passes correctly. Carolina Ascent is doing all this unnecessary running.
So Aguilera to put it back in play. Constant. Holton now. Losing their balance, and with it when possession is Carolina have a throw deep in opposition territory. It's well done by Constant to intercept. Abera. A bit of a heavy touch this time, but players around to help her. It's Colton who had won it back momentarily. Abera back in possession. Torbert deep in her own half this time. We'll find the release valve out wide to Paige Almendares.
I really love what I'm seeing from this DC side. They're not forcing the play.
Bagley.
They understand that those 50-50 battles against a team like Carolina Ascent are dangerous.
Well, Constant on the receiving end of the foul. It's a free kick to DC Power.
It's an unfortunate 50-50. For me, it looks like it's a foul on Groom, but...
That's what it was whistled as.
Okay. But referee seems to
Groom
think otherwise.
Oh, foul, gotcha. That Groom was fouled.
Yes.
she agrees with you.
Okay, yes, we both agree.
We started through the captain Cummings. Parada. It's well done. Under pressure to win it back. Gorley now looking for the angle. She's trying to square that back, but she was in an offside position and the flag is up. 8 goals in the season for Gianna Gorley. Currently going through her longest goal drought with DC. 5 games since a 2-goal performance against Lexington. Before that, she had scored against Dallas, so goals in back-to-back games for her, 3, and then 5 straight without a goal. But she is getting herself into dangerous positions, and her coach will be happy as long as she continues to threaten.
And that can be very frustrating for a player when you're a natural goal scorer and you're not scoring in your last few games. It can be dangerous because it can bring down your confidence as a player, but it's like you mentioned, she's getting herself into those right spaces.
Here's Parker now against Constant, square back toward the penalty spot. Lucy was the target this time. Also Abera fights for every possession, doesn't she? And she wins most of them. Mentioned Carolina have never lost to DC Power in the Gainbridge Super League. It's 7 games in all. A couple of wins for the Ascent and 1 draw this season. In the 3 previous meetings, they've all been really close. It was scoreless the last time they faced off in Charlotte back in December. Carolina won 1-0 when they squared off in November with Baisden hitting the game winner. And before that, it was a 3-2 Carolina win in Charlotte back in October. That one was decided by Alyssa Walker, who on that occasion scored the game winner against DC Power, now playing for DC Power. Here's Cummings. It's catapulted out of the back. Good build up now to find Torbert. Looking to return the favor to Abera. That's cleaned up at the back by Studer. Here's Parker. DC Power continue to press. Groom. It's a lovely 1-2 for Groom, who is chopped down in the midfield. Constant commits to foul, and she gets a word from today's official, Joshua Encarnacion. Parker. Lucy laying it off for Groom. There's Studer. Corbin now finding a pocket of space. Aguilera. That's well anticipated by Abera, combining with Torbert, trying to run in behind. It's a bit long for her to reach. There's Corbin. To the wing for Lucy. Page has it covered, and she'll watch it out.
Good look by Corbin. She's really trying to make something out of nothing, but it really seems like this Carolina set side is not connecting in that final third or finding that last ball to click to attack.
One back by Carolina, but a foul whistled against the Ascent. It's gone against Addison Merrick. clatters into the youngster Parada. Let's have a look at the clash just now.
A strong tackle by Merrick. It's always unfortunate to get hit in the back like this. But Merrick went in strong.
No cards as of yet as we approach the 30-minute mark at Audi Field. Cummings receiving instructions from Namasi. Possession is slightly favored at DC Power, 53% in the course of these first 30-ish minutes. More chances, 5-1. And neither side yet to test the opposition goalkeeper. Constant. Torbert, it's a smart pass in behind, and once again the offside flag is up against Ibarra.
Bear's doing such a great job distancing herself from defenders, finding those pockets so that she can turn and play those through balls.
Look back at the last 2 goals she scored, both goals in which she's playing that sort of target forward, hold up position, and then arriving, crashing the box, pounced on 2 loose balls and found the back of the net in back-to-back games.
I like to think she's more of an attacking mid, a number 10 position than your traditional striker that just stays up top. She might initially start her run from up top, but she comes in deep to go ahead and receive those balls at an angle and turn and look for those pockets.
Here's Torbert, leaves it for Ibarra. Confidence on the ball, it's poked loose by Gil Aguilera. Well, the Gainbridge Super League season is in full swing. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gainbridge Super League. If you're just joining us on the season, this is the business end of the campaign as teams are vying for playoff positioning, and you've tuned in for a good one. 6-pointer with playoff implications. Top 4 make the postseason, and Carolina holding on to that 4th spot. DC Power just 3 points behind them. Half an hour played in Audi Field. DC Power have another throw deep in Carolina territory. Torbert. Torbert is wanted back for DC Power. Tyler Lucy now. Groom. Stepping forward, Constant trying to set up a roadblock. Carolina still in possession. Near side is Taylor Porter, the captain. Porter started every game last season for Carolina Ascent. Has started all but 1 this season. Colton. Bagley. Tight defensive lines of Carolina just outside of the 18. Not allowing DC a way through at the moment. Gorley. Dropping a little deeper to find space. Now Constant. Torbert. Colton allowed to turn. Bagley. Flung in now toward the penalty spot. Ibarra was closest to it for DC Power. Bagley will chase this one down and able to keep it in play. Crossed in near post now for Gorley, who gets tangled up at the edge of the 6, and it's a penalty for DC Power. Oh, she continues to find ways to make an impact. And Gianna Gorley draws the foul inside the box.
When you serve balls into the box like this ball here by Bagley, great things happen. You can get fouls, penalties called for your side.
Oh, was it not given? Referee seemed to point to the spot. It's a goal kick. That was a tangle with Jenna Butler just on the edge of the 6. Incidental contact in the referee's opinion.
We're really starting to see, we've been seeing beautiful soccer from this DC side. They're connecting passes, they're controlling the tempo of the game and controlling the rhythm, forcing Carolina Ascent to adapt.
Aguilera now. Parada.
Also a big moment for Parada, just 15 years old, and she's making her first start coming off the bench this year. For me, I think it's just a huge vote of confidence from Namatsi, especially given the responsibility that comes with playing in the midfield.
This is Torbert now. Holton for Torbert, who sneaks in behind. Low-driven cross for Ibarra in the heart of the area. It's broken up by Carolina. Porter plays it back. Oh, it's goal bound and nearly an own goal.
Nearly an own goal, and that is something you don't want your goalkeeper.
Holton back post. Gorley now receives it, chesting it down, and it's saved by Martinez with Ibarra waiting to pounce.
Something you don't want your goalkeeper to do is hold the ball in the back while DC is applying pressure from all different angles. Get that ball out. Martinez was extremely lucky in those 2 plays that she was able to react quickly.
Meanwhile, here comes Carolina with Parker, broken up by Constant. It's one back to Aguilera. Possession is short-lived. Referee Encarnacion brings a stop to the action. Gives us a chance to look back at this, the 2 chances.
Great defending by DC. We see that they're applying pressure, forcing Martinez to make a decision. Luckily, she was quick to react.
Minutes to play in first half normal time. DC Power knocking aggressively on the door.
Martinez is normally a goalkeeper she's really good with her feet. She's explosive. She distributes extremely well. But during moments like that, you want to just get the ball out.
Well, during the hydration break, a chance for us to look back at this first 45 minutes for Deja Torbert, who's been a constant threat.
Torbert has been a constant threat, attacking those spaces early, running in diagonally, having great confidence in trying to place those balls perfectly, but she just hasn't been lucky. But I will say this, if she just keeps on trying, one will get in the back of the net. You can see the frustration in her face right here. They're doing the work.
Had a bad injury back in 2022, tore her meniscus, PCL, and ACL. Missed nearly 2 years of action before coming back. Her first start was against Carolina earlier this season. Was instantly injured again. It interrupted the flow of her start of the season. You see just how impactful she can be in that final third for DC Power. Georgia native, a former UCLA Bruin and Georgia Bulldog. Chelsea, DC could be satisfied with the way that the flow of the game has gone. They've had the lion's share of possession and chances, but they must feel a little hard done by not to have broken the deadlock by now.
Well, yes, it most certainly is frustrating, but knowing that everything is going your way elsewhere is in the touches in the midfield defensively, they're forcing this Carolina Ascent side to make mistakes, and then in the transitions, DC's quick to get on the ball and get forward. So I feel like in the back of their mind, everything else is going well. They know that one is coming. It's important moments like this not to get chaotic and lose your style of play just because you're not scoring.
So play set to resume via drop ball to Taylor Porter. Corbin playing it wide. Oh, this is promising now for Carolina if they can get in behind. It's an important intervention. Constant to cut it out. There's Studer. Offside flag is up against Mackenzie George. Parada. Tried to play from memory. She misremembered as Paige was on her way back. Carolina nearly half their wins have come on the road this season. They've won 7 games, 3 of those have been on their travels, and last away win, as mentioned, coming against DC in their last trip here. 5 left to play before the half. Settled by Colton. Bagley. Gainer. Page working out wide. Really tried to set up Colton in the middle. And a chance to counter now for Carolina. Looking to get their attack going. Slipped through by Porter. Aguilera square ball in, an inviting cross. And there to meet it for Carolina. Taylor Lucy. Studer on the ball. Parker. No way through as Bagley stands her ground. Quick throw in as Carolina trying to surprise the DC Power backline. Porter. Let that pass a little slack, and Torbert was there to win it back. Azabera in support rides the challenge of Aguilera. Still Torbert gaining ground. And creating space with the cross near post. Azabera the intended target, but difficult angle. And this will lead to a DC Power throw very deep in Carolina territory. Bagley. Left something behind. Drew was happy to collect. Strong in the air from Paige Almendares. Combination tries to release Corbin on this near side. Corbin So scrambling for possession. Her cross is blocked by Colton. And Carolina will have their first corner kick of the match.
Their first corner kick of the match. That's to show you that they really haven't been on their A game offensively. DC has done an incredible job denying that service or even denying that option of Aguilera cutting in. Normally during games, we see Aguilera up and down the line, but this game, we haven't really seen much of her, or we haven't seen much of Corbin as well.
Swing in near post. Dealt with by the DC defense. Here's Parada. And credit to the work offensively that we've seen from Deja Torbert on this near side, maybe keeping Jill Aguilera pinned back.
What a cross by Colton, that quick decision to switch the point of attack.
Colton wants it back. This is Gorley on the ball. And never an opening for a square ball back. It's a goal kick.
Incredible, brilliant judgment by this DC side. You can see Colton put up her head and just make that cross to Gorley to switch that point of attack and really unorganized the defensive line of Carolina.
Tell you what, Colton continued her run all the way to the back post. She just wasn't picked out.
And that's important. She stays with the play.
Parker over the top. Constant has it covered. It's knocked down by Studer. Here's Gaynor. Flipped over the top for Gorley to chase. Tilting the pitch. Gorley looking for an opening. Goal was shut in front of her. Here's Colton now. Has Abera in support. Loza Abera. Lucy battling with Gorley, and Gorley wins the duel. Page. Circling the target now, DC Power. All this crossed in, whipped in, an inviting cross. Abera was at the near post. That's dealt with by Studer. It'll be a corner for DC Power and perhaps more danger on the way.
DC just needs to keep testing that Carolina Ascent side. There's going to be a moment that they're going to slip up.
So Emily Colton stands over the ball and calibrates. Outswinger toward the spot. Abera once again the target. Be dangerous. It's Studer who arrives at this ball played into space. And that's an important touch to give DC Power a bit of time to get back in possession, in defense. Numbers flying forward for Carolina. Here's Parker now. Merrick. Gets it back from Aguilera. Taking a scenic route around Bagley. Colton was there to break it up for the moment. It ricochets off of Carolina. It'll be a goal kick for Gottschalk. Covered well for each other defensively. DC Power and the times that we've seen Carolina break out on the counter with a bit of space. There's always that last defender to put out the fire.
DC has been composed, especially when they don't overcomplicate themselves. Bagley has done a terrific job of just getting the ball out.
So by Mackenzie George, this is Groom now into the area, working against Constant, and swarming defense by DC Power to win it back. Abera. It's harassed by Aguilera. Throw for Power FC. Well into 3 minutes added on, a minimum 3 minutes of stoppage time. Cummings. Page. Carolina more of a mid-block now, trying not to defend too deeply. Not applying much pressure on the ball carrier either, and that'll take us to the end of the opening 45 minutes. At the break, it's DC Power 0, Carolina Ascent 0, but clearly DC Power on the front foot.
DC Power has been on the front foot. They've controlled the tempo of the match and shown real creativity in my eyes, operating with a strong collective dynamic both on and off the ball. They've defended as a unit, forcing Carolina into mistakes, and they can't finish. Carolina has not been able to get into that attacking third or even connect those passes. And offensively, DC has done well as well to find those spaces, create multiple chances. That final touch has been missing, but if they maintain this level of intensity, I really do feel a goal feels inevitable.
Well, 7 first-half shots from the trio of Gorley, Abera, and Deja Torbert, who have been a constant threat to Sidney Martinez in the Carolina goal. Just 1 shot in the half for Carolina, who failed to produce a first-half shot on target. We're joined now by Deja Torbert. And Deja, thanks for taking the time. You seem to be finding a lot of joy in that final third. Plenty of chances for you and for Gorley. What's working so far?
Definitely. I mean, just our connection. We're finding each other. We're playing simple and keeping it to our tactics of playing in and out and one touch and moving the ball quick. It's just about finishing in the final third. We're almost there, and I've had a few, and hopefully we get it in the second half for sure.
Yes, we saw that you had a few, and unfortunately, when those chances aren't going in, how do you stay mentally locked in and trust that goal will come?
I mean, we're breaking them down continuously, so just reminding, like, next one, and I think that goes for all of us. Even if we have, like, a bad touch or a bad decision, we know that we are breaking them down in very key moments, so just remembering just the next one and encouraging each other to keep going is really what it's all about right now.
Well, you seem to be having fun. Keep it up, and good luck the second half.
Definitely. Thank you.
So 45 minutes in the rearview. DC Power still level with Carolina Ascent, but enjoying their football back on home soil on field trip day at Audi Field. It is scoreless at the break. We're back with more after this.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome back. It is halftime at Audi Field on Field Trip Day in the nation's capitals. DC Power and Carolina Ascent with an eventful first 45 minutes, albeit scoreless. DC Power, a little hard though not to have found a breakthrough. Maybe the best is yet to come in the second half. Look at what else is coming on week 23 in the Gainbridge Super League. More action midweek on Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Sun play host to Brooklyn FC. That's part of a doubleheader with Dallas Trinity facing Lexington, both games on Peacock. Then Saturday, Lexington against Fort Lauderdale, kicking off at 5 p.m. While Spokane and DC Power will be back in action on Saturday night at One Spokane Stadium out in the Pacific Northwest. Big matches in playoff positioning as they try and make it into the top four. As we head to break, stay with us for a special preview of episode 2 of Built for Success. Stories from the Gainbridge Super League featuring Tampa Bay Sun FC captain Jordan Listro and her journey from her home in Canada to captaining the Sun to a first title in league history.
Definitely Jordan's best qualities are how hard and physical she is, and it's not fun to play against.
2-touch, Jordan! Touch! Finish! Jordan brings a ton of experience. She's an absolute warrior on the field.
I just want to win so bad, and I'll just do anything it takes. And that's kind of my mentality.
We're excited you're here this evening as we take on Spokane Zephyr FC.
This is all hard, like this game, because it is brutal out here.
Tampa Bay in search of their first home win.
Being a professional athlete, there are going to be lows and adversity.
We can do this, but we have to put in the work.
The back stick! Oh, it goes in off the deflection!
Gainbridge Super League, it's giving so many players more opportunities to play. It's been a dream come true for me.
Welcome back. Good to have you with us for Week 23 in the Gainbridge Super League. DC Power 0, Carolina 0 after an eventful first 45 minutes in which DC Power have dominated the possession and the chances, and not a lot to So here's a look at these simple numbers from the first half, and they tell the story of a dominant first half DC Power performance. 9 shots to 1, 2 of those on target, while Carolina have yet to test the gloves of McKenna Gottschalk.
Carolina needs to come into the second half and try just getting the details down, pack the first 15 minutes, win those first and second balls, be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe don't high press, because when you high press, you're going to get exposed between those spaces. In DC right now, they have a momentum going where they're going to expose you if you give them that space. So maybe just really control the tempo of the match by passing those short passes, controlling and gaining that confidence.
Well, at this point last season, Carolina were on their way to the best record in the regular season. DC Power were en route to missing out on the playoffs. This is an important 3 points on the line when we come back. Welcome back to Audi Field. DC Power and Carolina Ascent 0-0 as the second half is set to get underway. It is the hosts, DC Power FC, set to kick off for this second stanza. And Loza Abera stands over the ball. No changes from either manager, so the same 22 players that walked out are out again for the start of this second half. And it's DC Power moving from right to left on your screen as we get things underway in this early midweek kickoff.
I've truly enjoyed seeing this DC side play and seeing the midfield, how dynamic they've been, along with their forwards. Abera, Tobert, and Perota have been extremely good in connecting those passes.
There's Carolina trying to turn defense into attack. Cummings commits the foul, free kick for Carolina from the center circle. Now, the Ascent have taken 7 of a possible 9 points from their matches against DC Power this season, a couple of wins and a draw. It's just over a quarter of their points this season against this one opponent. They've given them all they can handle today. I was noting how big a Carolina win would be for the Ascent. They would climb 6 points clear of DC Power, a little cushion in the playoff race. Aguilera gets this one away, and it would make it back-to-back wins for Philip Poole's side. They have not had enough in attack as of yet. Back in through Bagley, Torbert. Shot from a long way out by Colton, and is some way off. So the second half starts the way that the first half ended, with DC Power on the front foot. A reminder of who's out there for the hosts. It's Bagley, Constant, Cummings, and Page ahead of the goalkeeper Gottschalk. Midfield foursome of Gaynor, Colton, Perota, and Torbert, while Gorley and Abera, the two up top. And a reminder that the number 47 out there, Val Perota, making her first start of this season, is just 15 years old. Our apologies for the technical difficulties from site. So we're back underway, and DC Power back in attack. The aforementioned Perota.
Perota has done exceptional attacking those spaces with pace and really forcing Carolina Ascent to make a decision. Such a young player with such big confidence.
Tyler Lucy managing to poke that ball loose. 15-year difference between those two players. This ball is swung in from wide. Chested down. And not quite cleared. Finally out for a goal kick. Last touch by Abera. Now, Val Perota mentioned made her full debut in April of last year. She was 14 years old.
14 years old. Imagine that.
Hard to. Flipped wide by Martinez. Carolina not able to keep that in play. If I could put you on the spot, who were your standouts in the course of those first 45 minutes?
My standouts, Torbert, Abera, Colton.
I like it.
And on the Carolina Ascent side, Lucy.
Can she provide another game winner as she did on her full debut last week? Carolina with a throw deep in enemy territory. Bagley gets that one away, only as far as Butler. Abera holding it up once more. Still Abera. Ball in a string. Torbert not able to keep this one in play as it just trickles out. And Carolina have a throw. Good downhill football played by Carolina. Cross is swung in near post. Godchak will give away a corner kick. It's Merrick getting forward on this near side to deliver the cross. Five minutes gone since the restart. And this is the second corner kick of the game for Carolina.
The second corner kick of the game for Carolina just shows that they haven't been on their A game offensively. But I will say, Aguilera is incredible with her crosses. So we'll see if she can actually get a chance or an opportunity out of this.
Leads the league in chances created. This one is flung in. Back post on the doorstep and cleared out of danger as Studer was there with an unmarked header. Now Colton trying to turn defense into attack. Carolina have done well to cut her out. 39 chances created coming into the game for Aguilera, the most of any player in the league. She led the league in assists last season.
She's a player that I mentioned earlier. We haven't really seen much of her, which is not normal for a game like this. Usually you see Aguilera up and down, box to box, crossing in, cutting in. She's dangerous. She creates those chances. But DC has done an incredible job blocking her that service.
Taylor. This Page rolls this one all the way back for Gottschall. It's Page Almendares to build out of the back. Gorley leaves it for Parada, trying to clip it in for Torbert's run. Parker now. And Aguilera forced to scramble back. Gorley makes a run toward the back post. Should be picked out. Gainer under pressure, solves it well, finding Constant. Abera now into the 18, the flag stays down, clipped in, back post for Gorley. And then it's dealt with by Merrick, who nudges that out of play. It'll be a corner kick for DC Power. Bear has been so dangerous of late, popping up in places to clean up on loose balls and back-to-back games to find the back of the net.
Bear has done a great job getting into those spaces and having confidence and turning, playing those slip balls.
Outswinger Cummings was closest to it. Abera now to clean up. Gorley was coming back from an offside position. The flag is up. It was tight. For DC Power, 3 shots from Emily Colton out of the midfield, 3 shots for Gorley, and 2 apiece from Abera and Deja Torbert. So they have peppered Cindy Martinez's goal. Lucy. Bit of a slack pass intended for Torbert, and back the other way comes Carolina, looking to capitalize. This is Corbin. Corbin trying to lift it in. It's lifted over the crossbar. Could not get that to dip.
And these are the things I want to start seeing a little bit more from Carolina. If they can't dribble in because DC's defensive line defensively have been so compacted, then try taking your chances from outside the box. Look up and take a shot. Corbett has an incredible shot.
Her first of the match, and it may be her final touch as Carolina are preparing a couple of substitutions. We'll See the introduction of Lily Coleman. So, excuse me, Lily Nabet and Audrey Coleman. So Riley Parker makes way as Audrey Coleman comes in to replace her. And Lily Nabet, the former Fort Lauderdale loanee, will step into the midfield, replacing Mia Corbin. Lily Nabet with 1 assist in her 9 games for Fort Lauderdale earlier this season. Now, minor trade for Carolina and could help to give them a bit more control in the midfield. Audrey Coleman, good creator to help out with the likes of Aguilera and Lucy, trying to create more chances for Mackenzie George to get on the end of.
I think right now what we need from this Carolina Ascent side is a little bit more urgency in the midfield. Start moving the ball around. Nabet might be able to provide that. As you can see, she's already looking over her shoulders, trying to receive the ball and demand the ball. You need a player like that right now on the field that's going to put the team on their shoulders and say, all right, guys, let's go. Like, let's get this going. Let's get this game going.
Carolina is starting to press a little more aggressively up top with some fresh legs. That's raffled into the middle by Gottschalk. Long switch of play near side for Lucy from the edge of the area on her right. Lucy! Well, she didn't need a second invitation, but she was troubled just enough by the captain, Cummings.
A great battle. Maybe if Lucy would have just held the ball a little bit, take a touch, cut in, she would have had better luck.
Her first sight of goal in this game, fresh off that game winner last week. It's a gorgeous goal, cutting into the 18. Trying to recreate the magic now. Lucy back in possession. Here's Merrick, closed down by Abera. Trying to get around her marker, squeezes the cross in near post. Lucy not allowed to turn. Page step for step with her.
The intention was there by Lucy. She really tried to take that touch, but it got away from her body a little bit too far. But I saw the intention of her wanting to do a quick turn and possibly pay that ball into the 6.
So Page does not have to come off, having taken the worst of that earlier challenge. As we tick toward the hour mark, no breakthrough yet, but an improved Carolina Ascent in this second half. Starting to play closer to Gottschalk's goal. Holton for Torbert, ball's in for Gorley, and the offside flag comes up against Torbert. Gianna Gorley also starting to get more involved. Substitution for DC Power as Val Parada, the 15-year-old, will step off, fresh off of her first start of the campaign. She'll be replaced by Lexi Fraley.
Good game by Parada. Really not sure why they're taking her out. She's giving that balance in the midfield. I don't think I would change anything on this DC side.
So Fraley on for her 5th appearance this season with DC Power. Her 3rd off the bench. I would say fresh legs in the middle, but the 15-year-old could probably run for a week.
The 15-year-old has been giving incredible balance in that midfield, running box to box and defending.
As Merrick rolls this one back.
She's been able to break up plays.
Foul's gone against DC Power. You just feel Carolina is starting to get more of a foothold in this match. Getting a little more control. Groom slightly limping, but seems to be okay. Aguilera to deliver. Flung in back post. Loose at the 6-yard box. Groom rising to meet it. Real scramble at the penalty spot. Here's Nabet. Rolling it back in Colton there to win it for DC Power. Smartly played wide for Torbert. Scorley continues her run forward. Played into space. Only able to get there and keeps it in play.
Good decision by this DC side. They saw that things got a bit chaotic in the 18. Really smart decision by Colton to play it out wide to Torbert to break that pressure and get Carolina Ascent to just shift to one side.
This is Colton again. Abera with her back to goal. Gainer. Page. Fresh legs of the substitute coming in and delivered back post! And Gorley denied point blank. A fantastic save by Martinez to keep it out.
So close for Gorley. It's just an unfortunate situation.
Lexi Fraley nearly able to provide the assist as she unlocks the DC Power defense, the Carolina defense. So Gorley eager to end the 5-game goal drought. This is as good a look as she's had all game long.
A good change of pace by Fraley, attacking that end line to go ahead and play that ball into the 6. A bouncing ball to Gorley, making it hard to control. But she got a foot on it.
Only 2 players in the league have more goals than Gianna Gorley this season. Ashlyn Puerta with 11 and Catherine Berry with 9. All squared in, plenty of DC Power defenders back to deal with it. Ball given away cheaply, now Torbert. Crosses in, looking for Gorley again, the header. Goes safely into the hands of Martinez.
They're getting close, DC is getting close. I feel like a goal is coming.
The game is playing into the narrative. You talk about DC Power and the variety of goal scorers they have. Well, they've had the lion's share of the chances. They've peppered Martinez's goal, but Carolina's defense has been up to the task the last several games. Back-to-back wins, both with clean sheets. They have weathered the storm.
Martinez is a great goalkeeper. She has that mental toughness. She's able to cut those angles quickly, and she's good with her feet.
Dangerous giveaway. Streaking into the area. Cummings has it covered. That's expert defending by the captain of DC Power.
Great defending by this DC side. George is a player that when she has the ball at feet, you don't know where necessarily she's going to go. So this DC side, by keeping on their toes and not diving in to a player like George, was a great decision.
More defending to be done now as Carolina have another corner kick, the second one of this second half, and it's the captain Porter to deliver. Near post delivery is staying in. It's loose inside of the 6, and the ball has crossed the line. Well, stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox every week. You can sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Chelsea's doing that right now. This is rolled all the way back for Martinez. 25 left to play. It does truly feel now like it's anybody's game, with an improved Carolina attack in the second half. It's a poor touch by Torber, given away, and numbers back with Lucy in possession. No bet. One is on by Merrick on the near side, and she's found. Delivered a venomous cross into the heart of the area. It's constant there to deal with the aerial threat.
Now we're starting to see a bit more dynamic and movement for Carolina. A bit more intensity off the ball. Whereas in before in the first half, they came out a little bit flat.
Had a thought about the shot, more than a thought. It's delivered goal bound, and Merrick not able to find the target. Just look at the posture of this Carolina team now. Numbers forward, trying to press the defense as they play out of the back, trying to win the ball higher up the pitch. Something you alluded to in the first half, that Carolina is at their best when they're pressing teams and winning the ball higher up the pitch, as they've done here. And possession short circuits.
Yes, because the positive thing about being a high pressing team is that you bring chaos to the opponent, forcing them to make decisions quickly. And when you have a back line that's not as experienced, or players are not as experienced or confident on the ball, it creates mistakes. And Carolina is a team that will capitalize on mistakes, but this DC side has been so solid offensively and defensively that they haven't been able to break them down. It's been the complete opposite. They're applying high pressure and they're getting caught high up the field, and they're exposing themselves in those pockets. And DC's doing a great job playing those balls into those pockets.
Played into space now, trying to get in behind the DC backline. This is smartly rolled back to Gotcha. Gainer. Colton. She flies past Aguilera, who's giving chase. It's well won back by Jill Aguilera. Not just a Golden Playmaker last year, but also Defender of the Year. Really
Defender of the Year.
You saw there why. Look out, it's Gorley now driving at the defense. Gianna Gorley. Tried to find a Berra. Torbert going to clean up. And she's coming back from an offside position. The flag is up.
I always try to say, avoid playing those square balls that Gorley just tried playing to Ibarra, because when the opponent picks up those balls, it's so easy for a counterattack. Those balls are so easy to play into space with pace. It can create really dangerous situations.
In terms of the attack from Carolina today, 3 shots from Tyler Lucy and 1 apiece from Addison Merrick and Corbin, who's no longer in the game. See the influence and impact that Lucy has made since arriving. This is only her 3rd appearance and her 2nd start for her new club.
Well, I would think she would bring a lot of momentum into a game coming from a league like the NWSL that's high pace.
Nabet cutting inside, square ball in to Mackenzie George. And the threat is neutralized by DC Power. Once again, Merrick. Merrick starting to be the catalyst of the build-up from this near side for Carolina.
Incredible turn by Colton.
Fraley now the substitute. Driving at the double team. Ibarra. She is tough to dispossess.
Ibarra understands that she's not going to beat this Carolina side on a foot race. So she's really focusing on what she does best, which is having the ball at her feet, bringing it down, using her body. She's a bigger girl, so she can go ahead and shield the ball to create that space around her to either take a shot, go into those spaces, or play those through balls.
Paige trying to turn inside. As Merrick continues to run on this near side, who should be picked out. Once again, Merrick goes goal bound this time. Tried to disguise this shot. And an easy save for Gottschalk. Fraley. Torbert drives that ball into space now for Gorley to chase. She won't get there. Much more open game at the moment than what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Carolina starting to express themselves. Won by Cummings, turning defense into attack. Here's the captain. Colton now, options to either side. Colton picks her own number.
Now we're starting to see that this DC side is trying to take their chances from outside the box, whereas in before they were trying to dribble in and get those chances inside the 18.
There's Torbert once more. Little space for Lexi Fraley to operate now. Trying to drive the ball into a crowd at the back post.
Carolina Ascent came into this half a completely different team. I wonder what that halftime talk looked like.
I don't think Phil Poole was using his inside voice. Just one shot from him in the opening 45 minutes. It's been much improved in the second half. 6 shots in their first on target coming since the recess.
And that's a big difference from the first half.
Here's Constant. Bagley. Gainer. Over the top for Torbert as the flag stays down. Torbert. Driving into the 18, options at the edge of the box. Colton is there. Paige wanted it played just in front of her. Good ball movement from DC Power. This is Torbert crossed in, back post. Gorley rising to meet it. Fraley arriving. And in self-defense, a touch from Gorley inside the 6.
Great movement by DC Power, being patient, understanding that if the ball's not there, the play isn't there, they're not going to force it, so they're going to swing it back around.
Gorley trying to settle onto her left. Fraley arriving, clattered into, and there's an offside. You can see a concerted effort from DC Power, particularly in the second half, to find Gianna Gorley. So a couple of substitutions coming up for Carolina. We'll see the introduction of Brianna Martinez. She takes over from Addison Merrick. While Ava Cook will also be checking in, and she'll take over from Mackenzie George up top. So Ava Cook has played just 29 minutes for Carolina this season, on for her 4th appearance, all off the bench. A former Chicago Stars striker. While Brianna Martinez is checking in, the former Notre Dame captain, replacing Merrick in that back line, like for like at right back.
So hard to believe that game is still 0-0.
Page. Barra. Just over a quarter of an hour remains of second half normal time. Foul whistled against Ibarra as Carolina have a free kick. Home side lining up a couple of substitutions and suspect they'll wait until after this set piece. So Aguilera measures up. Referee having a word with Sydney Cummings and the newly introduced Ava Cook. Green light to Jill Aguilera to deliver.
What a beautiful
Quality
ball.
service into the heart of the box, and punching it away is Gottschalk rising to meet it. Appeals for a handball, and it has been given as a free kick just outside the 18. And this is from a dangerous spot.
These are the services CC needs to be careful with. I don't clearly see the handball.
I believe it's the forearms of Gorley. Comes up to the defender's face, really, and that's given by Joshua Encarnacion. This is as good as dead ball situation as Carolina have had in the course of this game. And it's Tyler Lucy who stands over the ball. Just days after scoring the game winner in her full debut, a chance to be the hero once again. Lucy, goal bound, and all over the top. And now DC Power will make a couple of substitutions. Susanna Fitch will step in relief of Paige Almendares. As part of the back four, Hannah Richardson is in for Losa Arbera in attack.
A good ball in. She would have just maybe put her body over the ball a bit to drop it down.
So Arbera will not continue her streak of 2 consecutive games with her name in the score sheet, but still making an impact in the course of these 78 minutes of play. This is Colton now pulling the strings.
I'm interested to see how this DC side is going to react to not having Ibarra in the middle to be that creative outlet, because she has done a good job getting into those spaces, turning and playing those slip balls.
Also, an outstanding ability to win the ball high up the pitch from Ibarra. Goal kick from Martinez. Here comes Carolina. The Ascent, the cross in back post, and they find the breakthrough. They've been growing into the game. They've now overtaken DC Power, and for the second time in as many matches, it's Tyler Lucy on the score sheet. She just keeps flexing on him.
Great goal by Lucy, but also very poor defending by Fitch, who just stepped in for this DC side. She needed to step a little bit more aggressively to not allow that service into the box. But incredible finish by Lucy, attacking the box with pace and aggression to get ahead on it.
Well, 2 starts and 2 goals for Tyler Lucy. With just over 10 minutes to go, it's not a moment too soon.
And this is why I always say, if your team has possession, they're playing well, don't change the lineup. Subs change the game.
Well, both of her first 2 goals and her first 2 starts could turn out to be game winners.
Great job by Lucy.
For the moment, Carolina staring at a 3rd consecutive victory. They could be 8 games unbeaten against DC Power all time. Now looking for a second as that ball is slipped through. Last-ditch defending. Ava Cook was causing all kinds of trouble to the DC Power defense. In the end, they dealt with it.
Now Carolina Ascent has momentum. And it's important during these moments for them to capitalize on this momentum and this energy to get another goal in the back of the net.
Lucy, absolute standout at Princeton. She was a 3-time All-Ivy League selection and NWSL winner with the Portland Thorns early in her career. Real veteran of the NWSL, where most recently she was with North Carolina Courage. And what an impact she has made in her short spell now with Carolina Ascent.
She's a player that understands what it takes to win games, win championships. And understand that it's the mentality that comes with it as well.
The assist, by the way, credited to Audrey Coleman. Gets her 5th of the season. One of Carolina's top playmakers. Check looking for Bagley on the near side. And the foul's gone against DC Power. Free kick to Carolina. It's all turning up Ascent of late.
Don't necessarily agree with this foul. I know that it's not good to argue against refs, but Bagley just stood there. Just stood there while Nabet attacked that ball aggressively and unfortunately tripped over her.
This would make it 10 points that Carolina have taken off of DC Power this season. Big bulk of their season total. Aguilera to deliver. Carolina in search of an insurance goal that's punched away by Gottschalk.
What a ball by Aguilera.
Coleman dispossessed. They are buoyed by that goal. It's now DC Power struggling to get out of their own half.
That was a definite yellow card.
So Gianna Gorley, her 2nd of the season.
Can't even argue against that. An aggressive play. No ball there, all body by Gorley.
His first yellow card of the game comes in the 84th minute.
It's so easy to get frustrated knowing that the whole match you've had control of the game and the ball and have not been able to get a goal in the back of the net. And now you're 83 minutes in, the game's about to finish, and you're losing 1-0.
And you're once again on the back foot as Carolina trying to double their lead. And Swinger driven to the back post. Not cleared out of danger yet. Kochek trying to fight through it. It's a loose ball in the 18. And it's sent goal bound again, this time wide of the target. It'll be a throw for, last touched by DC Power. Came off of Richardson on the deflection.
You've already seen the energy change on this Carolina side. They're really starting to press and play aggressive. You can see the body language of the players. They're trying to win those first and second balls, trying not to let DC get out of their half.
Gainer. And it's one high up the pitch by Carolina. Short pitch to counter. Martinez. Lucy slips it through. Tyler Lucy working against Torbert. Slip back nicely. The back heel doesn't quite come off for Carolina. But look at the effort to win it back once again. They have turned this game on its head. Driven into the area, it's overcooked. But just an idea of how this game has been turned on its head. First half, DC Power 8 shots, 2 on target, just 1 shot from Carolina. Second half, 10-5 Carolina's way. 2 shots on target, and they found the game's only goal for now.
Carolina Ascent has been striving not to let DC out of their half and forcing DC to adapt to Carolina's game, which is chaotic, high press, aggressive. And DC's not a team that plays aggressive. They're not going to win those physical battles. You can see, I mean, you saw Torbet's hands go up. She's getting out of her game.
Bit of a slack pass is cleaned up by Gainer. Four minutes plus stoppage time remain. It would be a massive 3 points for Carolina. They would open up a 6-point gap on DC Power and create a little breathing room on Spokane, or just outside of that top 4, just behind the playoff line. Well, it's not quite nudged back to Godcheck. She does have to come off her line and collects. Time to dig deep for DC Power. As Carolina try to manage the final minutes of this. Here's Richardson. Bagley. Room to create. Richardson not able to get there, but they do have a throw, DC Power. Time is of the essence as they chase down an equalizing goal. Bagley. Cummings. Now Constant. You can see the communication between the Carolina players trying to cover well for each other, not allow spaces for DC Power to infiltrate. And working to good effect at the moment. One back high up the pitch for DC Power, but only for the moment. They've got another throw inside of the final third. Rinse and repeat. 90 seconds remain of the 90 minutes. A fragile lead for Carolina. Power in search of an equalizing goal that's lifted into the 6, spilled inside of the area and cleared away by Carolina, who can breathe a sigh of relief.
These are the moments that are important for Carolina, knowing that the game hasn't been going your way since the first minute. Yes, it's improved in the second half, but they're still not 100% Carolina Ascent. Get those balls out. You're in your last minute.
Constant applying the pressure. Previous pass was left behind Gorley, and that led to the turnover. This is Torbert now. Quickly restarted by Torbert, needed better service out wide. Check surveying her options, so play it short. Bagley out of the back. This is Cummings. Trying to clip it over the top. Constant. Now the center back is a makeshift center forward. So they need to get numbers forward.
You can see that Carolina has locked in.
Slid through nicely. Colton out wide. Crosses in, delivered near post, slapped out of the air by Martinez, who manages to hold on. 3 minutes of stoppage time, a minimum 3 minutes added on. Martinez just happy to get that out of her own half. Cummings now under pressure.
Which I maybe even would have waited if I were Martinez. Kill time. Know that your team basically fighting for their lives out there. That's where your soccer IQ comes into play. You have to know how to play with time.
This is Bagley. Deflects off of the bet. Eva Cook managing to take it away only for the moment. It's rolling out, and Carolina have a throw they'll be in no rush to take. Philip Poole lining up another substitution. So you see Riley Beiston, Sophie Baston getting up off the bench. So Groom will make way. And it's Riley Baston who comes in to replace her. She scored the winner in Carolina's last visit to this stadium back in November. 1-0 result. Now back out to manage the final moments of the game as Groom exits.
Baston coming in the last 2 minutes of the game. I never understood why coaches do that. As a player, from a player's perspective, it gets so frustrating.
To be the one coming on?
To be the one coming on. It's happened to me a couple times. You have to take one for the team. You have to understand that it's part of the thought out plan.
Sometimes it's time wasting, sometimes
it's
tactical
you're
wrinkle.
The player. Yes, exactly. You're the player that can hold the ball.
Cummings stands over the ball. Catapulted forward into the 18, into a crowded box. Headed only as far as Gaynor. Able to collect. Gaynor goal bound and always bending away from the target. Was that the final chance for DC Power? 3 minutes is a minimum as we tick down the final seconds of minute number 3. What a turnaround from Carolina. They were barely in it in the first half. Well, they did not concede. And just a different side in attack and in transition in the second stanza.
That's what makes great teams untouchable. Like this Carolina Ascent side, even on their worst day, they're able to win games and turn things around. I'm not going to say it's their
forward,
worst
looking
game.
for Worley once again. Richardson. Now Bagley. Can they snatch a late equalizer? It's lifted into the heart of the area. Dealt with by Studer. And there's the final whistle. It's 3 wins in a row for Carolina Ascent on the up and up as they create a 6-point cushion on DC Power. A stellar second half performance and another goal by Tyler Lucy in her second start, getting all 3 points for her new club.
DC came out strong, controlled much of the game, especially in the first half, but they weren't able to capitalize on that dominance. And that raises the question, what is the value of doing all that hard work if you don't find the back of the net? The ideas were clear, but the execution just wasn't there. Carolina, on the other hand, came into the second half with greater urgency and aggression, winning the key first and second balls, and they shifted the momentum in their favor.
Well, Carolina improved to 29 points on this season. 10 of those have come against today's opponent, DC Power. The final score in Audi Field, Carolina Ascent 1, DC Power 0. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back to midweek action in the Gainbridge Super League. The final score from Audi Field, Carolina Ascent 1-0 over DC Power, as Carolina make it 3 wins on the trot. We're thrilled to be joined now by the goal scorer. Tyler Lucy is joining us, and the guns were out again. 2 starts, 2 goals. What's allowed you in such a short time? You joined the club about a month ago, and where most players might still be learning their teammates' names, you're scoring game winners in decisive moments.
Sorry, that was really loud. Yeah, obviously, just joining the team, they've been so welcoming, and honestly, very proud of this team. It was definitely a hard-fought battle, but to come in the second half and just to get the job done, I mean, the players that came in off the bench really made a huge impact. Audrey, Lily, Ava did so well for us, brought the energy, and that's what we really needed, so it was such a good impact.
Lucy, it's Chelsea speaking. I'm over here watching you and cheering you on because I know last time we saw each other, you weren't sure where you were going, but let me tell you, you're doing an incredible job. You scored. When did you feel the game changed, and what did you guys adjust?
Well, first off, hi, Chelsea. Good to see you. Yeah, I think at second half in the locker room, we really just reset. Obviously, it wasn't our best first half performance, but I think we just really dug it out and to come and get the win. And Audrey had a great cross, and I was just in the box at the right time and just put it in the back of the net. But just really proud of my team. We really fought back, and yeah, had a really good second half, so really proud.
Just right behind you, your teammates have been flexing on you, just photobombing the interview. They stopped right before you looked back. Just what's it been like to be part of this locker room?
Oh, it's honestly been amazing. For my first day, I mean, yeah, I've been on the team for a month now. First day, everybody's been so welcoming, really just integrating me into the team very seamlessly. So, and the coach has been awesome. So it's been so supportive, and I truly feel valued and appreciated. So it's definitely a good feeling. So I'm really happy to be back playing.
Well, we value and appreciate your time. Congrats on the win, the goal, and the 3 points. All right, so the final score is
so much to you both. Thank you.
Carolina Ascent take all 3 points against DC Power. Worth repeating, 29 points on the season for Carolina. 10 of those have come against DC, even in a match in which in the first half, it was all DC Power as we take a look back at the best of the 90 minutes.
DC controlled much of the first half, but what does that mean if you don't capitalize in these big moments? Perota had a lot of confidence on the ball, putting in that bouncing ball into the 6. Unfortunate handball by Torbet.
So that wiped off what would be the opening goal, but more from DC Power, who really monopolized possession and chances in the opening 45.
Great save by Martinez right here. Her fast reflexes. It's what really sets her apart from all the other goalkeepers.
And then at the death, an improved Carolina in the second half. The substitute Audrey Coleman picking out the goal scorer, Tyler Lucy, for the win.
Coleman emphasized on poor defending by Fitch, changed her pace because she knew she wasn't coming in aggressive, played that ball into the 6 to Lucy. Incredible header, towering header with aggression and a whole lot of confidence. Perfection, brilliance by Lucy.
There is the 5th assist of the season for Audrey Coleman, the 2nd goal in as many starts for Tyler Lucy, and decisive once again. Well, the numbers tell a pretty even tale. First half, all DC Power. Second half, more even, but Carolina edging it out and getting that all-important game-winning goal 10 minutes from time.
Carolina Ascent did this last year, and they're doing it again. They're a great team because they capitalize on moments that aren't so great for them. So what do? They control those little details. And they knew that coming into the second half, something had to change. They had to win those first and second balls in order to get that victory. And that's exactly what they did. They came out extremely aggressive, and they got that victory.
Well, Carolina Ascent climbed 1 spot into 3rd on the table, just ahead of Dallas Trinity. Creates a little bit of room for error on that playoff race. The final score one final time, Carolina 1, DC Power 0. For Chelsea Cabarcas, I'm Trey Cordero saying so long for now.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.